If there was a light-skinned babe and a dark-skinned babe in front of y'all, and both of them were prettier, do you think the average black man would pick that dark-skinned one over the light-skinned one? Think about it. Social conditioning, baby. Social conditioning.
Click here. Click it.
It's just a public service announcement. If black women that you say you date and you respect only look like me, there's a problem with that. Happy Juneteenth.
Wow, she said happy Juneteenth. Did y'all catch that? That's the date, that's supposed to be in the month when the slaves were freed. Emancipation Proclamation, Juneteenth. She strategically said that with this video. Basically, in so many words, she's, from what I get from what she said when she said happy Juneteenth, is that we were slaves then, and basically slave mentality is still going strong. You know, house slave, field slave, get it? The light-skinned ones were in the house. She said happy Juneteenth. Wow, that was deep. She said this is a public announcement. You know, I'm really sad in the fact that, you know, this is still going on. And it's been so long. I mean, the psychological impact of what we've been through as a people is still present. You know, the chains have been released physically, but the chains in the mind is still there. I heard someone said that. I forget who quoted that, but that is really sad. I mean, this is coming from, you know, a black female or a black woman. I say female because she's of a gender that can, you know, reproduce, you know. I mean, some might see that disrespectful and stuff like that, but I don't see how, you know. I go back and forth, say women, woman, female, whatever. But that's not the most important thing that the video is about. Happy Juneteenth. Wow. That was heavy. That was really heavy. I remember at one point in time during a certain decade, which was like the late 60s and 70s, you know, black, you know, the dark-skinned person in the black community became, you know, was more highlighted, started to be highlighted back then. Not by media, some might suggest. No, you know, it was by the movement of, you know, the self-identity movement back then. You know, with the afros and the afro picks with the fist afro picks, power to the people, stuff like that back then. And that was the self-awareness era, you know, and all colors in our race were glorified then, from light to dark. That dichotomy is still present in this time and day and time. And, you know, I could just, you know, edit this by stopping and getting my words together and then starting back up again the video, but I don't want to do that in this video because I just want to speak from, I always speak from the heart, but I don't feel like doing that because I feel like, you know, this mentality thing is crazy, you know, particularly amongst the black man. Not all black men. But come on, brothers, let's be straight up. You know, when we first see a light-skinned babe and stuff like that, like me, I used to be like that because I grew up with you know, my first experience with light-skinned women. I mentioned that in the other video because my mom, my grandmother was mulatto, you know, and I had all kind of relatives and aunts and all that. They were light, you know. That was my first experience. But then, you know, I started dating, you know, I used to always date light-skinned, you know, females, black females, because that was my experience. But now, you know, it changed when I was in my 20s and I started dating dark-skinned sisters. I'm like, hey, you know what? They're just as sweet as the light-skinned ones, you know? And, but come on, brothers. Y'all know. A lot of y'all out there know that y'all prefer the light-skinned black females, you know, and as opposed to the dark-skinned ones. That's most of y'all preference. Not all brothers, you know, because I'm not one of them. But I'm just saying, the first thing that we see triggers something in our brain. When we first see a light-skinned chick, it triggers something in our brain, you know? I believe, this is my belief, okay? That, you know, my belief is that when we see a light-skinned black female, the first thing we do, it triggers something in our brain like, oh, that instantly beauty. But I'm gonna tell you something. Light skin ain't all that. You ever? Now I believe everybody's, you know, God's creatures. You know, we're all God's creatures, and you know, no one is better than the other. But come on now, you ever see a light skinned unattractive sister? Huh? Now I mean, you know, beauty's in the eyes of the beholder. But I'm talking about, man, look, I'm gonna be straight up, man. I saw some light skinned, the booger bears, man. I mean, that, you know, I know my wife gonna get mad at me because I say booger bear and stuff with some of these sisters, you know what I'm saying? Maybe she was, I don't know. But I mean, I've seen some light skinned booger bears, and the light skin highlight the booger bearness. I mean, it highlights it. I mean, it's like, it brings all the booger bearness out. It just shows it more. I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm serious. Come on, fellas, y'all know. Y'all seen some light-skinned sisters that were like, you know, like, I ain't getting with that. Come on now. So, what is it with this? But when you see your sister, first thing you do, like, you scan it. You scan her first. You know, like the light-skinned, dark-skinned, like, you know, white doll, the white doll, the dark doll theory. You know, I don't know if you ever seen the video. You know, you could Google it. It's this, the little girl, she's put in front of this dolls. One is white and one is brown doll. And she's asked which one would she choose? Which one does she like? And she said, you know, she pointed to the white one. She said, which one do you think is nicer and kinder? And she pointed to the white one, you know. This is, and it's not the little girl's fault, but I'm just saying it's a social conditioning thing. And a lot of brothers, I'm just going to be straight up with it. Hey, some of you brothers might be mad at me, but come on now. A lot of it's been social conditioned. A lot of it's been social conditioned to believing being more attracted to light-skinned sisters than dark-skinned sisters. It's a social conditioning thing. I mean, you know, why don't y'all sit down and contemplate? I'm not talking about all brothers. I'm talking about the brothers that are like this. You know, the brothers that, you know, check it out. I ain't trying to beat down on brothers because I'm beating down on myself too because I'm a black man too. You know what I'm saying? But check it out. I remember one time, I'm serious, when I was young, I had all kind of light-skinned babes, man, that I went with. My first girlfriend was biracial. She was part white, part black. I was mesmerized. I was like, woo, inundated with light-skinned black females. And that's all I dated. I dated the ones with green eyes, gray, brown eyes, light-skinned, this, that, and the other, long hair, this, that, and the other. I mean, it was their real hair, not like unlike today. But you know what I'm saying. So we have to, I don't know. You don't have to take a really good look at yourself and you're thinking. If that's your preference, that's your preference. I ain't beating on nobody who like light-skinned sisters over dark-skinned sisters. But when it comes to a conditioning thing, I mean, look, this black sister, man, she got on it and made a video about this. Apparently it bothers her. She probably got some dark-skinned sister friends, dark-skinned black female friends, women friends, you know? And seeing how they are hurt because they're not being selectively chosen out here, you know, by, you know, the majority of men out here. They look down upon because of chocolate. And again, I think chocolate black. I seen this picture. I seen this photo of this African chick from Africa. Of course, she was African. She's gonna be from Africa, but I mean, beautiful. She was black. I'm serious. Her skin was black. I mean, black like my pants black. Black like that. I'm not lying, but she was so beautiful. And you know you've been social conditioned when you see a real dark-skinned sister, and she's pretty. You know you really conditioned. You know you've been social conditioned when you say, wow, she's pretty for a dark-skinned female. That's a sign right there. She's pretty for a... Check it out. Check it out. Check yourself when you say that and when you think that. You don't have to. You can do anything you want, you know? But I'm just saying, I'm just bringing you aware to what's really going on in the minds of most black men. I can't say most now because I don't know. I'm just saying from what I'm seeing and hearing from these dark-skinned black females out here, that's the only thing I'm going by. And a lot of them are just like distraught, you know, but the fact behind the fact that they're not being really looked at as much when it comes to black men selecting, you know, their female counterparts. When it comes to black males selecting their female counterparts. Seriously. I know some of you are not going to watch this whole video. You know? There's a lot of hyper people out there. They don't watch the whole videos all the way through. You know, they want to click, and that's cool. But, you know, sometimes somebody got to talk some sense into what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm the most brilliant man in the world and stuff like that. But come on, brothers. Y'all know what's going on and y'all see it. And y'all know how y'all feeling and y'all know how y'all think. If there was a light-skinned babe and a dark-skinned babe in front of y'all and both of them were prettier, do you think the average black man would pick that dark-skinned one over the light-skinned one? Think about it. Social conditioning, baby. Social conditioning. It's a form of mental sickness. Now, like I said, if that's your preference, if that's what you like, cool. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying overall, I'm talking about the overall picture of this. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm going to play her one more time so you can kind of resonate, hear her and then resonate. Try and let it resonate in what she's saying, what she's trying to really say. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think she's like male bashing or anything like that. I really don't think, because she ain't saying nothing about, she just said, if you select me and you think that I'm beautiful, then, you know, you need to recheck your thoughts, recheck yourself, check yourself, sit down, contemplate how you really, how your mind really functions and how your mind really thinks. You know? All right, that's all I got to say. You know, peace out. Y'all take care.